Welcome to Friday Conversation. Today, our guest is Professor Lao-Chi Peng, Associate Vice President and Professor of History at the Lingnan University and a Legislative Counselor. Hello, Professor Lao.
Hi.
Thank you for joining the show. You are a renowned history expert of Hong Kong and modern China. And today, I would like you to share with us more on Hong Kong's historical development. Recently, there are debates on new textbooks of citizens and social development subject about whether Hong Kong was a British colony or not. So obviously, Chinese and British governments hold very different positions.
Right.
So from historical perspective, was Hong Kong a British colony? And to what extent the British government exercised its colonial rule over Hong Kong?
Hong Kong's colonial status was the result of a pair of 19th century unequal treaties signed at the end of the First and Second Opium Wars, along with the granting of a 99-year lease in 1899 to the new territories. However, our central government has never recognized the unequal treaties signed after the First and Second Opium Wars. And soon after China took over the country's seat at the UN in October 1971, it wrote to the UN Special Committee on Decolonization and declared that Hong Kong was occupied by the UK under a series of unequal treaties. And that resolving these questions of Hong Kong is a matter within China's sovereignty. Hong Kong must not be treated as colonies in the usual sense of the word. A month later, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution by a vote of 99-5 that removed Hong Kong and Macau from the list of existing colonies.
As we know, you are the chairman of Curriculum Development Council Committee on the Citizenship and Social Development subject. This new subject was formed to replace the original liberal studies in senior secondary curriculum last year. So why is it essential to introduce this subject? And are there any misconceptions that we need to address by introducing a new subject?
The new subject, citizenship and social development, aims to help students to develop a broad knowledge base and foster their sense of national identity with global perspective through studying topics related to Hong Kong, the country, and the contemporary world. And of course, it enables students to develop multiple perspectives as well as understand the roles and interplay among individual society, the country, and the world through studying different topics in the area of economy, science, technology, and so on and so forth. The subject aims to enhance students' critical thinking, rational analysis, and problem-solving skills, as well as developing positive values and attitudes. And students are expected to apply all these in daily life and become informed and responsible citizens with a sense of national identity and global perspective. So we're talking about the change or the reform of this subject is to strengthen the sense of belonging of Hong Kong students and to broaden the international perspective and helping them to connect knowledge across different subjects. And in particular, those subjects and topics in a rational manner through studying important topics related to Hong Kong, country, and global development. And last but not least, providing mainland study opportunities to students to gain a first-hand understanding of our country and its development is also a very important part of the subject.
Thank you. As a historian, can you tell us a little bit more why Hong Kong is regarded as an inalienable part of China?
Well, this is a very simple question because back to 2000 some years ago, when this area where Hong Kong is now located was unified by a central government of the Qing dynasty.
Qing dynasty.
Hong Kong has since become part of China until today. Of course, we know that in mid-19th century, Hong Kong was forced to be ceded to the British Empire out of 2 opium wars, as well as later leasing a huge area in the New Territories to the United Kingdom. But as I mentioned before, that our central government has disrecognized this to unequal treaties, and also the status of colony of Hong Kong has been delisted from the United Nations in 1970s. So in a way, that Hong Kong hasn't been part of any other countries so far. That's why neither the Sino-British Joint Declaration nor the Basic Law contains the words resuming sovereignty over Hong Kong. Instead, they use the words resuming the exercise of sovereignty over Hong Kong. That means the Basic Law illuminates its issue at the very beginning. At its preamble starts with Hong Kong has been part of the territory of China since the ancient times. And in Article 1, that is clearly stated that Hong Kong SAR is an inalienable part of the People's Republic of China.
As Hong Kong is going to celebrate the 25th anniversary of reunification, which is halfway through the journey that our capitalist system shall remain unchanged for 50 years, what should we do to enhance the understanding and acceptance of one country, 2 systems among our young generations?
Well, I think the Education Bureau has the responsibility to adopt a program or approach to support schools in developing students' interest in Chinese culture and cultivate a sense of national identity through continuously updating curriculum guides and organizing diversified student activities and providing training courses for teachers and organizing a meaning exchange program, as well as developing learning and teaching resources in order to let students have a more all-round understanding of the development of our country and Chinese culture and become a new generation with an affection for Hong Kong, a sense of national identity and an international perspective. That will help our younger generations and the general public to better adapt to or to accept one country, 2 system.
Thank you very much for your time, Professor Lau. That's the end of today's program. If you like our program, please share, like, and subscribe our Friday Everyday channel. I'm Henry Ho. See you next time.